Part 4 is right.
כבוד הרב, שבוע טוב. I want to ask you something, if you don't mind, before you start the lecture.
Yes, David, yes.
It's like maybe you made lately, it was about the kids, like 10 years old, 11 years old, most of it. There is any lecture you can do, or few lectures maybe, about the teenagers, let's say about their friendship, how to choose a friends for them, or how should act with the teenager, like 16, 17, 18, and older. Thank you.
So, as you all know, and you heard it from me a few times already, in these ages already, we're not so much in control. We can be advisors, friends. It's a very touchy age and a subject, but Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll get to it. But one thing I can tell you right away, the discipline in this age, it's already too late. Everything has to be done when the kids are, still under your control. Okay. You remember how we finished the last shiur? There was one line that I said that everybody have to put it on the fridge to memorize it time after time. More than the parents, they want to have disciplined child. The children want much more. They want strong parents that they should set for them boundaries. The kids looking for boundaries. They want it. They need it. Because the kids, very simple, they feel much more secure with parents that they know to stand on their demands. It gives the children the feeling of stableness. They're walking on a stable ground. They feel that they have somebody to lean on. And usually, parents which are stable and they have consistency, the kids, they're proud of them. The kids is proud of his parents. Not only now, even when they'll grow up, they're always going to admire you, that you did the right thing, you put us in line. And this is part of loving your children. That's called love. Because then he is mentally healthy. He knows what yes and what no. Now, every professional that I spoke to, I'll tell you more than that. They're claiming that a child, when he is trying his parents, how he wants to violate the rules. He wants to violate it. And the child, in his subconscious, he would prefer to be punished than continue to have a party on the account of the nerve system of the parents that got already, too weak. Because don't forget, the bottom line is, after all, the child knows, he knows to the fact that he is too young. He knows that. He doesn't have the qualification that we have. He doesn't have the knowledge that we have. That he will be able to set up for himself a day structure. No child is able to structure his day. Even us as a grown-up, we're having a problem to structure a day. So imagine a child. So he wants the parents to tell him to structure his day. And when he is trying to violate the rules and to disrupt the structure, it's coming because he is weak, it's because of his Yetzer Hara. He's not thinking now. So that's why he wants to know discipline, but it's not him, it's the Yetzer Hara talking. If it's him, he will very much want that the parents will help him to be strong. Even if you have to pay the price of a punishment, that the parents will put him in line. The child will like it. And the child knows that you're doing the right thing. Even though outside he is protesting and so on, but deep inside, he knows. But if the parents are weak and they've been dragged after the weakness of their child, and that's how you expose your weaknesses, so the child feel, I have nobody to lean on. I have no protection, no security. My parents don't know what they're doing. Because if the parents don't know how to secure their words, how to protect their words, how to be consistent, and to stand up and say, we told you, you have to do it. So who can give me a guarantee that my parents have the koach, the ability to protect me? If I'll fail outside with socially with my friends or in the classroom, they are worthless. My parents are worthless. They don't know even what to do. So the outcome is every professional will tell you, go and check it out. the child, he will grow up to be afraid, insecure, no self-confidence. He doesn't know his place, and he is not sure where he belongs to. A total mess. We're messing up our own keys in our own hands because we don't know. You say something, stick to it. Don't budge. And the kids, they like it. You don't hate them. You love them. That's love. When we are breaking our own rules, then we don't love the kids. How many times are we complaining that the kids don't have any value to what we're giving them, right? They don't appreciate it. And still, as much as we give them, they say, we're not good parents. And they say everything, terrible things. Why is it? Where is it coming from? I was talking to a Bacho, I think was 16, 17 years old, that he told me, my parents, they don't give me anything. I'm on the verge of getting depressed. They don't care, they don't. And he told me, I don't think Bichlal, they love me. And I know the parents. And I know them. All their life they're giving to the kids. They're investing in the kids whatever they have. And they give them whatever they need. I know, I saw it in my own eyes. So I was wondering, why does he feel like that? What's the problem with it? I told him, you have to educate me because I know your parents. They're doing everything for you. I know how hard they're working just to supply you whatever you need. Why are you saying it? Listen to the answer. Listen to the answer, the unbelievable answer. He says, yes, of course, that they give me what I want. You hear what he's saying? They give me what I want. But not because they want to give it to me. Because they're not even, they don't have the guts to tell me no. Do you hear that? He's saying that he is getting from his parents whatever he wants. So why do you feel that you don't get anything from them? That's how a child feels, that when his parents don't know how to put their foot down, and when the child is asking something that is in, that he doesn't need, he's doing his justice. So then he becomes a rebel. He says, you have to give it to me, and he starts to fight with them, to scream at them, pa, 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 poo, poo, poo. So he has an outcome. And the outcome is whatever his parents give it to him, very expensive games. and clothing, everything with a brand name. They're not giving it to him. They're afraid of him. They don't want to say no to him, to the terrorist. So of course they don't give him. He is taking it by force. You hear what? So look, parents can give everything what they have to the child, and they looking after him, so chas v'shalom, he will not miss anything. Yeah. But since they don't know whether to say no, all the time is yes. So their yes is already have no value to the yes. No value and no appreciation. When a parent says this, no. This one also no. You don't need it, Habibik. This one, yes. So how this yes sound now? Valuable. But if it's all the time yes, 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 and it's chaval. It's chaval. We don't love the kids this way. When you give them whatever they want, you don't love them. Actually, you're destroying them. You have to decide with your husband and wife, sit down, what yes and what no. And when the child comes to ask, I want this, I said, I spoke to your father, and your father spoke to me, and the answer is no. There is a teamwork over here. So he cannot now start now to do, manipulation. Abba and Ima says no. You don't need it. Why? We decided. We know what's good for you. You're not gonna get it. Screaming, shouting, jumping up and down. Let them jump. Let them jump. We decided. No. You have to know. In life, not everything you're gonna get. Then when you say next time, Abba and me decided yes, then it has a value. It has a value to it. And the child feels good. Responsible people over here. They talking to each other. They know what's good for me, what is not good for me. You will follow the rules.
Rob, can I ask a quick question? Shabbat tov.
Yes.
So it's not a good. Sorry, just to clarify, Rob, is it okay if a parent says, let's say the mother says, Papa said no, or Abba said no? No. So it's better to always be unison together. Mama and Papa said no.
We decided. We.
Oh, it's never one or the other. It's always together.
We decided no.
Okay, fine.
Should the other one be aware of that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So I many times find myself in a situation where I couldn't communicate on time with my spouse. And then I say, Ima and Abba decided that today is not going to be the right day.
No.
And then he walks into the house, he doesn't know what's flying because I didn't have a chance to fill him in.
Listen to me. You hear what he's saying? He said, I have to talk to Abba. You call your husband. Also, you can say, wait a minute until Abba will come. I'll discuss with him. Then we'll give you an answer. So you're teaching him how to be patient.
Yeah, I say that too, but sometimes certain things they want an answer on the spot. And I'm like, and I know the answer is like no,
They
there's
want
no way.
everything on the spot because they
Right.
kids. So they have to learn not everything is going to be on the spot. What is this? Emergency case? Atzala case? No. Okay, wait.
Mm.
Now, there is a special organization that they calling themselves the used one. Organization of used people. Other people using them. The other one abusing them, and they are the one, right? Used. Meaning we letting the children using us. They're using us. Because we are weak. So the child is a weak parents. What do you think he will do? What do you think he will do?
Take advantage.
Of course. So these people usually they get under pressure. Even in the society, if somebody will ask you to do him a favor and you know I cannot do it, you're not going to say no. When you feel that people want to use you, you have to put your foot down. And don't start out with chesed and everything else. This you leave aside. There is a difference between doing chesed or being used. It's a difference. So if you're not good at home, when the kids able to use you at work or wherever you go, also people will take advantage of you and they'll use you. You know it's wrong and you know it's not fair, but you cannot say anything because you're weak. Each one of us, we always get into scenarios that we feel that somebody wants to use us. Don't you have it?
Yes, Rav.
So, what can we do? In this world, there are people that they're not considered your needs and with the limitations that you have because they got used to it already to demand from their friends or the parents, whoever it is, whatever they want without even saying one boo. You feel like they have the heart of a stone and you cannot say no. And these people are the one that been used. They frustrated, they angry, and they hurt. You say, why always they coming to me? Because you don't know how to say no. These people are evil. They want to use you. and they don't care for you. And they always will complain. They don't care that I have a house also, I have a husband also, this one, they want to use me. Okay. So you know that they want to use you. Why don't you put your foot down? The kids, what do you think? They don't want to use you? I'm
They're looking
asking
out for
you a
themselves,
question.
what they want.
Huh?
Yes, Rav. Yes,
Yeah.
Rav, they're looking out for their own needs, what's good for them.
They will take any opportunity that they have in order to do that.
Don't we do it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
Same thing.
Definitely.
We're using him up to the end. Do we care?
Yes.
No. Okay,
No,
so
not always.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So if you one time you go and investigate what's going on over here, why they all the time using this person, you're going to find out to your surprise that all the time the one who is being used is calling the other one to use it. He's sending a signal so you can use me. And I give him all the legitimacy to continue to behave the same way. Now, what will happen if one day you're going to put your foot down and you say no? Can he force you?
No.
And all of a sudden you see this user is weak as a paper. You gave him the koach. You gave him the koach. We're giving the koach to our kids to come and to be users. The moment that we say no, you see how they behave. Take a look and tell me how they behave. Pito, you see a kid, mommy saying no. No, that's it. No more use and abuse. No.
Rav, how many
Yeah.
times? Sorry, Rav, can I ask a question? How many times does a parent have to explain to their child? Let's say the child's asking for something, you say no, and the child keeps nagging and keeps bugging.
What do you think? He said, okay. No, Ima, okay. We'll drive you to the walls. Why?
How many times should we explain ourselves?
Don't explain. I said no. One time, two times, I explain you, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
You see, it sounds like I'm talking to be mean and cruel and tough. No. This is part of loving your child. If you're going to cave in, I'm going to feel bad for his wife. You're teaching your child to be an abuser. And user. Don't think for a second that discipline is something that, okay, we need it in order to run a quiet house. No, it's for life. The whole Torah is disciplined. If you go from A to Z, it's all talking about one thing, discipline. Here comes your neighbor. Let me show you that what I'm saying to you. Here comes your neighbor. That few times already used you. And he's asking from you a favor. You know, can you take me with your car? I just have to go shopping. If you don't mind to take me. And I don't have time. I really don't have time. And it doesn't make a difference why I don't have time. Right now, I cannot do it. And according to you, to what you understand, that I don't have to take him. Who is saying that you cannot say no? Who is it? Why I cannot say no?
You feel maybe they won't
We-
like.
We
Huh?
think we can't. I'm just realizing that I can say no because I have more important things to do, and I'm just realizing that now
Yes,
at this age.
okay. Now, you say no, and now you're gonna test him, okay? How extended are his borders that he doesn't care for? He's not considering you, B'chlal. Like you have to take him. And now he'll start to do it. What? Don't you know how to do chesed? Here we go.
Guilt trip.
Chesed, you don't do when it's easy. Chesed you do when it's not easy. They know the stuff. And you go, how can you tell me? No, I wasn't expecting it from you. Yeah, Habibi put you in a corner. You don't know even what to do with yourself, right? Or I tell you, Matt, I can ask you already a favor. These are the slang of the people who are using. The users, that's how they talk. They know the Torah, they know the street language, they know how to play instruments on your heart. Just to use you, they'll do everything. So you have to tell him, that the fact is, I didn't fulfill his expectation. It's his problem. It's not my problem. It's my problem. When he had expectation, is my problem or is his problem?
His problem.
What do you want from me? I cannot do it. You thought that maybe I can do it, so it's your problem. Why is my problem? And now he will put even more pressure until it will come to, you know what I mean, squeeze. Sound already? Don't forget, he'll tell you there is two sides to every coin. If you're going to need me, I'm not going to, this is the way they talk. Like a mafia. But this will change very fast when they'll see that you standing there says, you can say whatever you want to. I cannot do it. And that's it. If you cannot do it, so don't cry anymore that people using you. And don't come to complain to these people who know how to use you, because this is who they are. You let them be. You let them be like this. Let me give you a conversation and you tell me what you think, okay? You ready?
Yes, Rav.
Ready, okay.
Yes, yes.
Somebody calls me up. As a Haimoff, maybe you can help me with the problem that I have with my brother-in-law. So my question was, what's the problem? He says, he's such a bad man, you know, tough cookie. He doesn't care for nobody, only selfish, only himself. Now it's a break from school. 2 months, he's not sending his kids to camp. So now he decided to dwell in my house for 1 week with his kids and his wife. And I don't have time for all this. I'm a person, I'm a hard worker from morning until evening. When I'm coming home, I want a peace of mind. I need a quiet. He doesn't want to understand that I'm not able to accept a guest for such a long time. 1 week. So my brother-in-law is a user, stingy. He doesn't want to go to hotel or upstate or something, so he decided to dwell in my house. So he chose me, and so I was asking what? He came just like that, without any the telephone call. We coming, he knocked on the door, he says, surprise, we came here for 1 week. That's the case? That's what you're talking about? He said, no. He called me before. And he was asking me if they can come to be a guest for 1 week. I said, no. And he said, I didn't feel that it's nice to say no. You have to understand, is my brother-in-law, you know, family. So I told him, so what do you want from him? He called you as a mensch, was asking you as a mensch. And you said, okay. Why it became his problem now? Why didn't you say no? I said, it looks to me like a decent person. He called you up. He was asking nicely permission. And you said, okay. And he accepted. What do you want? Listen to the answer now. You say, yes, I said, okay. But how come he is not understand from himself? Now he has to understand that I'm an idiot. I'm weak, right? And he has to read my mind and not to come. After I said, okay, come, he should say, okay, but I read your mind. I know that you don't want me to come, so I'm not coming. He didn't do it. And why should he do it? So I was asking him, and if he is not understanding that it's not nice, then what? He says, then he is not okay, and on this I'm angry. So I told him, it's possible that your brother-in-law is not okay. Okay. Maybe he's not considering the situation enough. And he sees only himself, maybe. But why are you upset at him? Where were you? Why didn't you say no? Because of your weakness, you're jumping on your brother-in-law. If you will say no, what will happen? You're not going to call me. Why are we upset on our kids?
We want them to love us. And when we say no, they don't like us at that moment. No, no.
We feel guilty because we didn't make the right decision.
No.
We feel bad. We feel bad for saying no, meaning we feel bad for saying yes when we really meant no. And then we beat ourselves up over it.
And then we said our kids taking advantage of us.
But we let them take the advantage. And
Exactly.
we blame them instead of blaming ourselves.
Exactly. Here we go.
Okay.
Did you get it now?
I got it.
We don't know how to say no. And they will jump on the opportunity. And then it's their fault. In our language, we say, if you see a donkey, you're not going by foot. You ride on a donkey. Yes or no? If you see a friar, why don't you use him? Of course you're gonna use him. Now you see where the frustration is coming from? Huh?
Yes, Rav. But Rav, is it also
We don't want to
possible?
say no. We don't want to say no when we have to say no. No. And זהו. Habibik, Abba and me, we decided you don't need it, so you don't need it. That's it. It's good for you and very good for him. Everybody is a gainer over here. So instead of being upset at the kids, how about if we we'll start to work on our personality to know when to, sometimes when we have to say yes, we say no. When we have to say no, we say yes. Why? Because we have no backbone. So now listen to what he told me. I'm coming back to him. He said, Rabbi Haimoff, what do I hear from you? That you want to teach me not to do chesed? Do you hear what he threw at me now? Huh?
Wow.
Changing the tactics. Now we're talking Torah language. Yes? So you want to teach me not to do chesed. Now it's my fault.
This was my question, Kvod Rav.
Okay.
He doesn't know who he's dealing with.
Okay.
He doesn't know you too well.
And then if I'll say no, Hashem says, Olam chesed yibaneh. The world is existing on chesed. So you want me to destroy? To destroy the world? Of course I have to accept him to my house. Here we go. So I changed the tactics also. I said, that's the tactic? Okay, very good. So I told him, you know what, you're right. But can I tell you something? My wife and me, for a long time, we didn't take off, you know. Maybe I can come to your house with my 6 kids for 1 week. But I told them, if I'll come, I'm coming for 2 weeks. I told them, you don't understand what chesed you're going to do with me. I need a break for 2 weeks. Can I come to your house? He said, no, impossible. So I told him, a minute ago, you spoke about chesed. What happened? No. And you told me that I'm anti-chesed, and you the professor of the chesed, right? So now I'm asking you to come to your house. You say no. So now 1 minute passed, and now you understand that the chesed also have limitation, right? Is there a limit to a chesed, yes or no?
Yes.
Of course there's a limit. I told him, don't you see the absurd of what you're saying? He said, even though you feel that for everything that something asks you, you want to do it because you like to do chesed, but in front of your brother-in-law that you feel weak. So I have an advice for you, I told him. Take yourself into your 2 hands. And you decide what you're ready to do for the other people, you do it besimcha. And what you cannot do, you say, I cannot do it. Because if I'll do it, I will not be happy. What happened over here? You brought a person into your house and you are miserable. What chesed is this? It's not a mitzvah. Both of you have to be happy. He is to be happy and you have to be happy. So there is a system between the users and the one who've been used. Now, the parents over here on the Zoom, it all depends on you now. What do you feel, that you've been used? So you have to work on yourself. Don't blame the kids. You made them like that. You gave them the opportunity to abuse you. So it's not their fault, it's your fault. So my strongly advice to everybody, you sit with your husband and you make a plan, what yes and what no. And when the child comes and says, me and Abba decided, this you're not gonna get. And you love the child. This is called love, because you put him in line. Life is not anarchy, and is not low-lifeness, low life. You have to know that some things in life, you're gonna hear the word no. That's why some people, when they hear no from their spouse, they don't know even how to swallow it. And what do you tell me no? In my house, it was always yes. He doesn't know. They say she is an evil, she is this, she is that. No, she is healthy. She said, Habibik, עד כאן, זהו זה.
Kudav, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Rina.
A few sessions ago, I think a few weeks ago, we had the lecture about, if we offend somebody, and even though we're trying to be nice about it, if they get upset, it's kind of our fault, right?
Why?
You remember?
Why?
Because if let's say if we're gonna if let's say whatever had happened had resulted in tears or whatever, like do you remember that lecture that we had? With the cleaning lady, they told her, your kids are too loud. We cannot learn.
Yeah. Okay.
So in these situations, when the person that is asking, let's say, he thinks or she thinks they're completely right at asking this, and then you tell them no. You know what I mean? Like, how do you avoid from? Do you understand my question?
I understand you, but again, you cannot compare it to what I'm saying here.
No, I understand, like with kids, it's separate, but in terms of like adults.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
She did not come there to use them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm talking about users. Do you know what it means to use? It's very close to abuse.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some kids are abusing us.
Where is the line of use and abuse? Where is the border, Kod Rav?
It's very close. It's very close. So, because we let it happen. We let it happen. I see you over here in my office. I said to one of the spouses, put your foot down, it's enough. And no, I don't feel comfortable. So what do you want? So what do you want? You let it happen. And you're coming here to cry. So I'm telling you, it's time to put your foot down and say, you're not going to use me anymore. That's it. And people are having difficult time with this. I don't know why. They don't like to be used. They know they've been used, but they cannot stop it.
Rob, does the same thing go for spouses? Same rule?
Absolutely.
So how do you know when your spouse is using you?
You're supposed to know.
Okay, but let's say you tell your spouse that you would like it if they would clean after themselves. That's something wrong to ask, or is a wife supposed to clean after her husband?
Depends very much. If he's doing it all the time, it
Let's say
means what?
most,
It means what?
that's just his nature.
He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He said, anyway, she's gonna clean after me.
Right. So is that also borderline with a spouse? Is that like using the spouse or abusing the spouse, or?
Yes, and you have to sit down with them and tell them, you know, that's not going to continue. I cleaned one time, 2 times, but I'm a person also.
Yeah, but what if they have the mindset like, oh, what's gonna be if you're gonna do it?
So he's not your friend. The husband should be your best friend, and you should be his best friend. If it's not the case, you call time out, and we have to reassess the whole situation. We got used to so many things which bichlal not fair, not klum, and I see the people that been used are frustrated. They angry, they painful, but they cannot say anything because they're weak.
But what if you did mention it and it just backfired? So for the sake of shalom, people just keep their mouth shut. They're like, like there's a saying I heard one time somebody tell me, than to make my mouth tired, I rather make my feet tired.
I don't know where they're coming from. The problem
Can I
is,
ask you a question, Kavod Rav?
yes, Habibi,
Using and manipulating in terms of kids is the same thing?
of course. The kids are the best manipulators on earth because we're letting them. What do you want?
Rav, how do we help a child that's very sensitive when saying no? And they grow up to be very, very sensitive adults and they blame others for their problems. Is that from childhood as well?
No, they found a tool to play on your conscience.
So that has nothing to do like from childhood, like not taking responsibility, blaming on others.
Somebody, listen to me. When the parents are not on one page, that's what happens. Fast, we have to get on the same page because to raise kids when you are not on the same page, I don't want to tell you what's going to happen. And I see publicly each one taking the other child side against the husband, against this. It's a chaos. The child has to see that Abba and Ima are not on the same page. You're devastating the child. First of all, he will be manipulator. Number two, he's going to lose all the self-confidence that he has because he has nobody to trust, nobody to lean on. So instead of dealing with, with your shoes are here and your jacket are there, the person, him and his wife should be, each one should feel each other. Okay? And then they're going to be able to tackle the kids. But if among ourselves, we're not able to, so
So, Rabbi, if a husband is very tough on the kids, you're saying the wife has to be as well very tough?
no, you have to sit down with him. If you feel that he is too tough, this is not the right way to do it. He said, don't tell me what to do. We have to go to a professional who will tell us what to do. That's not going to continue. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're wrong, but it cannot be on the account of the kids. So let's seek for help.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes you can cry, you didn't bring me a flower on my anniversary, and this, you can make such a balagan. But for your kids, that they really have to make a balagan, the priority list is we have to say it upright.
So my husband sometimes says, I'm not too tough with them. That's why they're taking advantage of me. And now you're telling me that maybe I'm being used by my kids. That's why I'm wondering. Is it because
with your husband and tell him, why do you feel that I'm not too tough? Maybe you're right. So let's discuss it. What we're gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
We know that the kids want to use us. We see it.
Yeah, they just want to get whatever they want, and they do use us. Yeah, and it's hard for the parents to always say no.
What?
I said, sometimes it's hard.
It's not always, no. Depends of if it's necessary or it's not necessary. I didn't say to say everything no. That's not what I said.
No, I know, of course. It depends what it is.
Absolutely. But if you feel that you cannot do it, you say, I cannot do it.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you why. Because if they don't have mercy for you, what's going to be tomorrow when you get married to a stranger? You think he will care?
He won't be able to accept, and he knows.
What do
That's right.
you say? If he doesn't care for his own mother, for his wife?
I agree. He won't be able to accept it. Like when it's going to be a no for him, he's not going to be able to accept, and he's going to get upset. He's going to get angry.
Of course they're going to get angry. So we have a big job to do to explain them, not everything is available, not everything is going to be yes. Because Ima is not your slave. Ima is Ima. And that's why I said 7 o'clock, the kitchen is closed. The cook went home. You have time also. And the kids come, Mommy, I'm hungry. Mommy, I want to drink. You say, Hi, bro. אתה מסכן, מסכן, בוא, come.
It's really tough. That's a tough one, Rabbi, because they make a tantrum, they'll fight you, they'll cry, scream, they'll go to the kitchen and take whatever they want, and it's going to turn into a fight.
You're not getting into the kitchen.
It's not easy as you think.
I was a father, you know that.
But then it turns into a big argument, Rabbi.
Whatever it is. Maybe 1 time, 2 times, 3 times.
No means no.
I feel like it's
like
get adjusted to the idea in the house of how the
you
house is
don't know
run.
how they're gonna like it. I promise you.
Rav, until what age do we say 7 o'clock kitchen is closed? Like when the
You cannot say it to a teenager.
obviously, Rav, or to husband, I get it. But I want to know for kids, when is it like, because they're going to bed later when they get older, like 10, 11. I mean, the rules apply differently.
11 say, Ima, from 7 o'clock, Ima is on strike.
Okay.
Whoever knows how to cook or how to warm their food, do it yourself, wash after yourself. Ima now resting with Abba, drinking coffee. Shalom al Israel. Zehu. They have to understand this.
But the Rabbi heard a nice advice about that topic. They're saying, 5 minutes before the kitchen is closed, they tell them, it's last call. If you want to get anything, get it now before,
Of course.
to kind of remind them.
Of course.
And just one more question. I heard somewhere in a lecture where they were saying, if a child is able of doing something themselves, they have to do it themselves. Let's say, like, if you give them like a soup, they have to get the spoon themselves. Is that the case? Like, even though you're in the kitchen, or are we allowed to give it to them?
You can give it to them, your
okay.
mommy, I'll do for you. At the time that I'm there, I'll give you everything I have. But don't take advantage.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Rav, what about like preparing snacks and their clothing for the next day? Do we have to do that also, or it's their job to do that?
You can help them, nothing is wrong with it. What do you want for a snack? What do you want for a snack? Can I help you? That's all.
Mm-hmm. What about when the kids come home like really late from school, like they're little kids, but they come like at 6:30, and then if bedtime is like 7:30, 8 o'clock, it's like by the time they eat and do homework, it's already time to go to bed already. So it doesn't really give them much time to do things on their own. Like everything is like, it's like, you have to be like on top of them.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy. They're coming too late. Coming too late. It's not healthy, בכלל.
It's not healthy. I told you.
Which school are they going to?
They're going to MTJ in the city.
MTJ?
Mm-hmm.
How old are they?
They're 6.5 and 9.5.
Wow. Why did you send them to MTJ, may I ask?
Because I had problems in their previous school.
Sharetzion,
Yeah.
what's the problems?
The kids curse in the middle of class. You know, the teachers are not. Huh?
Those days are way, way over.
Not really, because I just spoke to a neighbor of mine who her son still goes there, and I asked her recently. I said, "Are the kids still cursing?" And she said, "Yes." She said her son hates it there. She says he begs me every day to put him into a different school, but she's like, "Where else can I put him? MTJ is too far." So what am I supposed to do as a mom? Like, I want them to go somewhere locally, but it's just not doable. It's like either I have to sacrifice their timing or I have to sacrifice their nishamot to be around to such type of an environment. It's like, I don't know what to do anymore. And when I spoke to the school previously about it, you know, I was told that whatever issues you had before, you know, there's nothing they can do about it because of the parents that are in the school. But they said that now, starting from the younger kids, because now they have a different person who's running the school. He said, starting now, it's the younger grades. It's like UPK first grade. It's only they're taking like very yeshivish parents.
The 6.5 years old can go back to Sharetzion ASAP.
Mm-hmm. What about
ASAP? What are you doing to your child? What are you normal? I cannot do it.
And my 9.5-year-old, he loves it there. He doesn't want to go back to Sharetzion.
Okay, so maybe he can take it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy.
But the 6.5 years old is too young for this.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, he will get burned out.
Meaning physically, he'll get tired.
Oh, he's a bit tired. He needs the house. He needs you. He needs to be on the bus.
I was thinking of driving them myself, just to, you know, not to have the headache of all the, you know, issues with the bus. But
They're still cursing in the van. MTJ school.
Of course, listen, there is cursing everywhere.
See? I told you. The children.
There is cursing on the bus, Rabbi. It's like too much out of hand. There's cursing in the schools. My kids come home and they telling me words that I don't even know.
So again,
in Russian.
So you're just saying now, okay, in school they don't curse, which I don't believe. Okay, but let's say that you're right. But on the bus is no less than Sharetzion.
right, so the van situation, I took care of it with the rabbi. The kids who were making trouble and cursing, they separated them. So
still go with the same children.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Sharetzion, I think they're doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
A great job. And I'm talking now as a professional, not as a parent. If you think that all the yeshivot are perfect, so
no, I know that they're not perfect. I know even the most top yeshivot, I know they even have children that are not behaving properly and stuff like that. But
always gonna find it. You're always gonna find it in the best yeshivot. You're gonna find it. You have to work on your kids to be strong and give them what they need, and they will resist it on their own.
But I did that, and I feel like my kids were still cursing. Like they came home cursing like crazy. Like I've never heard that. I never saw them behaving like that. And I knew where this cursing is coming from. And I explained to them every time. I said to them, Sadiq, we don't talk like this at home. And I gave them consequences, and I did whatever I needed to do as a parent. But, you know, I said to them that I said, if you get cursing are going to continue, I'm going to kick you out of the van. You're going to go back into Sharetzion. When my son heard this, he got already frightened. He's already was more careful using his words. So I understand, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like, isn't it less in such schools? I know in the school, definitely there's no cursing. Because when I spoke to the rabbi, he said to me, listen, this is all coming from your community. It's all coming from the Queen's van. So again, he's like, it's your people who are doing this. He's like, our students in the school, they don't curse. He's like, we don't tolerate nivul peh.
Okay. But the 9 years old to come home 6:30, also it's not that good, but the 6.5, no way. That's too much. Way too much. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
We'll continue tomorrow in Mirza Hashem.
Thank
Tomorrow
you.
night is part number 5.
Looking forward, Rav.
We have a
Thank you,
long
Rabbi.
way to go.
Thank
Shavua
you,
Tov,
Rabbi.
have a good night,
Shavua
everybody.
Tov.
Shavua Tov. Thank you, Kodorav.
Shavua tov.
Shavua tov.
Thank you,
Shavua
Rabbi.
Tov, Shavua
Shavua
Tov.
Tov. Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night,
night.
good
night.
night.